Yo, what is up YouTube? Thank you very much for clicking on this video. It has been a really long time, and I know that, and that is what we're going to talk about in today's video. There's really no easy way to kind of explain where I've been in the last 4 weeks other than burnout. I massively burned out in creating VR content, and I went on to explore other avenues. For those of you guys that don't know me on a personal level, I recently fell in love with indie game development. I've been working a lot on building my own game, giving it the features that I want to see in video gaming. I also, for a brief moment, thought that I was kind of sick of playing virtual reality, that there wasn't enough motivation there to put the headset on. So for a very, very small amount of time, I went back to playing a lot of flat screen games, and I made a bunch of flat screen content, and then it kind of dawned on me that I have this amazing family of VR content creators and VR supporters. I do want to talk a little bit about, because I think that there's something to learn here, I do want to talk a little bit about just content creation in general and VR content creation and how the burnout happens for me. So I started this channel back in December of 2021, and I didn't really start off with the intentions of it ever becoming successful. It was just, I loved VR and I loved playing VR. It was new to me, it was fresh. I wanted to make a bunch of videos on it, so that's what I started doing. And it just exploded, right? And like, a lot of people may not think that 600 subscribers is exploding in the YouTube space, but I did. And not a lot of people think that, almost 9,000 followers on TikTok is successful, but that was successful for me, the most successful that I had ever been creating content. So naturally, when you get a little bit of taste of that success, what do you end up doing? Well, you just mass produce content. And I was putting out 12 TikToks a day, and I was putting out 2 to 3 YouTube videos a week, and it was great, and I was feeling good about it. But everything fell apart pretty much for me on one day, and we're going to talk about that in full transparency. A little too close to the sun on a series that I did on TikTok where I basically was trolling people in Omegle, and views had been very, very good for me on TikTok up until this point. I started releasing Omegle videos, and a couple of them were super successful, and then one ended up getting me a community guidelines violation, which resulted in a shadow ban for me on TikTok. From there, I never achieved a video over 1,000 views for weeks and weeks, although I was still posting the same quality content, as well as posting the same amount of times per day. You would look at the data though, and it would just say that it had no For You page views, meaning I was most likely shadow banned. So that kind of took a toll on me mentally, that I was making all of this content and nobody was seeing it. Fast forward over to the YouTube side of things, like why did I stop posting on YouTube? I did end up doing a review of a game that I didn't give it the best review that I could have, because there was a lot of bugs present and stuff. And I'm not blaming this on like somebody else, right? Like, I burnt out, it's not their fault, but I'm just telling you what went in mentally into me stopping hitting that upload button. So I played a game, I reviewed it, I gave it kind of a harsh review. Right before I went to hit the upload button, I reached out to the developer, had a conversation with them, realized that the mistake was actually a product of a bad build on Steam, not that the game was negligently full of bugs or negligently bad. So I said, look, okay, I can't post this review for you because I gave you a less than stellar review for something that inevitably isn't your fault. So I ended up scrapping that review. I couldn't get another review out for it. And I kind of just threw my hands up and said, like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I stressing over this? Like, and I just let it go. It became harder and harder and harder to put the headset on, and it became easier and easier to distance myself from virtual reality. I knew mentally that all I had to do was just put the headset on, jump into a game, play with some of my VR friends, and I would be back. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. But then I finally did. As of 2 days ago, you'll see that I'm starting to post on TikTok again. And I do have a video in the works here in our typical review fashion of a game that I'm actually excited to play, which was a whole nother topic that was becoming very rare for me in VR. As I was playing so many games per week and I was recording so much that I kind of lost some of the excitement to play the games that I actually wanted to play. I more just became a machine for reviewing things rather than what I started all this for, which was enjoying playing VR. On 2 days ago, played a game of Phasmophobia with some of my really good VR friends, had a bunch of laughs, had a bunch of fun times. It started to feel alive again, my passion for VR, and I started recording. And I think that the clips that came out of that, I'm very happy about. Then I was like, well, I'm gonna try to do an old-fashioned Joshy review. We did one, felt really good to be back, and that kind of re-sparked my passion for what we're doing here on YouTube. So in the future, I'm probably not going to upload as much content off the rip as I was. I don't think I can keep up with 12 TikToks a day. I don't think I can keep up with 2 or 3 video posts a week. I appreciate you guys hanging out there with me. If you're still watching, that means that you truly care, and I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me during this first burnout period. I'm sure there'll be more burnout periods in the future. I hope that that's not the case, but mental health obviously is super important in this content creation space. So I appreciate you guys for understanding, and I will see you guys all back in VR, back on the headset. It feels great. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.